Welcome everyone to the Avengenerds podcast, where we're talking Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and more. I'm your host Torrin, and with me is my co-host Peyton.
Yo.
Today we'll be talking about Dune Part 2 in the news of the week. There'll be time codes in the description if you want to jump around. And with that, here's Peyton with the news.
Yeah, about that. There's no news, so I guess we'll just get right into it. This one's a bit of news that's mostly for me, but Moon Knight, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Andor, and Obi-Wan Kenobi are getting a 4K physical release on April 30th. My wallet is crying, begging for help. Okay, and yet, I'm ringing it out anyway.
Just have a talk with your wallet like I did and say the pain is only temporary.
it's we'll get there. I mean, it'll be fine, I think. But that Moon Knight Steelbook looking gorgeous. I mean, all of them looking gorgeous, but that Moon Knight Steelbook, oh man, this sucks. This sucks, but also I ain't complaining at the same time. But this is according to the Cosmic Circus. Sony is reportedly uninterested in making The Amazing Spider-Man 3, but wants to continue the story of Andrew Spidey without a new solo film. Sony.
Oh my god.
Want to continue Andrew Spider-Man, but they don't want to make The Amazing Spider-Man 3 because they are some of the sharpest tools in the shed, aren't they? Sony are just... It seems every week we just have a new gem from Sony.
Oh my god, just give the people what they want. Well, it's
Never
not that hard. It's not that hard, bro.
Well, apparently it is for Sony.
Bro, Jesus, I can't.
But yeah, I guess that's the news of the week, which means it's time to move on to our topic, which is what are we talking about? Talking about the Lisan Al Gaib.
Yeah, as written.
As written. All right. Yeah, so I guess we should probably do not spoilers and spoilers. I mean, it's a pretty popular film. Yeah. But we'll keep the not spoilers brief because let's be honest, there's not a ton not to spoil, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, so what'd you think of it?
Oh my god, I absolutely loved it. Not to spoil anything for later on in the show, but I had rewatched part 1, and because like what you said last week, I was not that big of a fan of the first Dune whenever it came out. I thought it was okay because at that point I didn't really understand it, and of course I had known that Dune was very popular. Back in the 80s, with the first film coming out, and it was a very big popular thing for sci-fi. So going into the first film, I was like, oh, I find it good. The visuals were great, but I wasn't really understanding of the story. And then, there was a lot of hype around Dune Part 2. Everyone was seeing it. You even saw it without me. I was very hurt.
I'm sorry.
Disappointed, man. Even.
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. But I was like, you know what? Some stuff happened, and I was like, I'm going to go see this movie by myself because I deserve it. So I rewatched part 1, and I was able to, grasp all the things, going forward with the characters, the houses, and everything. And then going into part 2, I absolutely just loved it. It's genuinely a fucking piece of art. Just from the dialogue, from the cinematography, and the themes, and just visually, it's just amazing. And it definitely has made me want to read the books because I know the Dune lore is expansive within the six book series. So it really just is amazing. I definitely want to go see it again. I'm willing to sit there for another 3 hours to watch this movie again, just so I can relive that experience because it's such a great movie.
Denis Villeneuve is the filmmaker Zack Snyder wishes he was.
God damn.
I mean, with the expansive, landscapes, the slow motion, the cinematography, I'm like, everything about this is what Zack Snyder wishes he could be. But yeah, I should have watched Dune Part 1 before, because I spent a lot of the first quarter of Dune Part 2 being like, what's happening? Who's that? What's the relationship here? How did this happen? how did we get here? but I mean, I got caught up pretty quick.
Yeah, for sure. Because like that's something that I didn't want that to happen to me, because I know there is a lot of things to like, that goes into Dune, because you have like, of course, the Atreides family, and you have like the Harkonnens and the Bene Gesserit, and Arrakis, Arrakeen, Spice, everything that and you just all that in terms of like characters. That's something that I just didn't want to like happen to me, because I didn't want that to take away from the experience, because I didn't want to like ask questions like throughout the film, like I'm like, oh my god, like who is this again? Oh well, like what are they doing here? Like I just didn't want that to happen. But like I can't wrap my mind around it. It is such a great film, and like whenever whenever I was like reading the dialogue or hearing the dialogue, everything starts like making sense of like just how like the Atreides are, and then how the Harkonnens and like the Fremen, and like just seeing everything like coming together it's so satisfying. It sucks that we have to wait like another like maybe 4 or 5 years for the next one, but I know that's gonna be crazy, so we'll definitely see about that.
Yeah, my anticipation for this film, because like you said, like I was in the same boat. I didn't love the first one. I think you actually, even though you didn't love the first one either, I think you still liked it more than I did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously the shots were great. I don't know. I just didn't love it like everyone else seemed to. And I assumed for this one, it was going to be like another Godfather situation for me, where I didn't love the first one, thought it was kind of overrated. And the second one, I liked more, but I'm still, I guess it's just not for me. And I assume that's what this was going to be. It's like a sci-fi world where, people are obviously making comparisons to Star Wars and vice versa and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, cool. And obviously everyone knows now that Star Wars was heavily inspired by Dune. I want to get to that.
Yeah.
But because, we're seeing Dune now after the fact, and after Star Wars, it's like, okay, I feel like maybe I've seen a lot of this stuff, but yeah, going into this one, I was expecting, to enjoy it, because I relatively enjoyed the first one. I think I talked about it on the podcast. After the first one, I was like, I didn't love it, but I'm interested to see what a sequel would be like. And I didn't plan to see the second one really in theaters, but I was like, I got some fucking spare time, I might as well. So I went and go saw it, and man, am I happy I did, because this sequel was wow. I was not expecting to enjoy this movie as much as I did. I mean, truly, I think because what the first one came out in 2021.
Yeah, 2021.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because I'm more used to him now as an actor, or maybe bro just improved, but I feel like Timothée Chalamet was on another level in this movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's something that I thought about too, because that's also the reason why I was really interested in seeing Dune Part 2, because as an actor with Timothée Chalamet, I was just like, what, like he's cool, but I do feel like his range isn't like like it wasn't enough. But like in this movie, like just his attitude, his mannerisms, like even like just like overall his dialogue and voice usage in this film was very, very top notch. With him, like, of course, speaking like the different languages and everything. Of course, we did see that in Dune Part 1, but like the way he's speaking the different language in these films, and overall like just his attitude is what like makes him a better actor for me in this film too. And I'm really, really excited I was really excited to see that in this film.
Yeah, because during the first one, and you rewatched it, so I guess that does ring true that it is an improvement, his performance.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, like because with Timothée Chalamet, it's one of those things to where like I've only seen him in very like very few things, and at least to me, whenever I rewatched it, his role was very like, or his voice was like, very like monotonous and like, kind of like just very dull. But obviously, it kind of works with Dune Part 1, considering that, like, he's not really wanting to take the responsibility of being in the royal family, or, like, dealing with, like, politics and everything like that. And I guess that kind of works, but of course with this one, it just felt so more elevated. His performance was, and like I was like, wow, I was actually really, really impressed with his performance in this film.
Yeah, because after the first one, my thoughts on him were like, he was fine, but like I with the character that Paul Atreides is supposed to be and the presence he's supposed to have, I really wasn't sold on him as the lead. I'm also not sold on one particular thing still, and we'll get to that more in spoilers probably. But yeah, his just presence, just as an actor and as this character, is massively elevated in the second one, to an insane degree. I really wasn't expecting it at all, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just more used to him as an actor. I've just seen him in more things now, so maybe I'm just used to him. I don't know, but his performance is much improved in this one, and it's all the better for it because he really needed to carry some of these scenes, and with a lesser performance, some of these scenes in this movie would just not have landed, and luckily they did.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, we'll get into it with spoilers, but there's just a lot of things that, because of his performance, I'm just really, really excited to see in the third Dune movie. When it comes to like his presence in this film, not only was it more elevated, but like it felt like it just like it made the stakes much higher, considering like, oh yeah, like, of course everyone has believed that like all the Atreides are gone and everything, because due to the attack, and so it just makes everything like it makes a mystery and like so much more thrilling, and that I really like. It's one of the elements I love about this film, and we'll definitely get into that in spoilers.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to before we get into spoilers, just to speak to some of the other performances in the film. Obviously, it was a whole meme. Zendaya was like barely in the first one, and yet she was marketed a whole bunch. She is an integral character in this this movie.
Oh yeah, for sure,
massively so. Also, I feel like I should make it clear that I have mostly zero knowledge of the books and exactly what I had no previous knowledge of the story is what I'm saying. So I do know some of it now, and I do want to get into that when we get into spoilers. But yeah, Zendaya is fantastic in this. Also, again, I feel like another performance that was elevated. I feel like even back during Dune Part 1, obviously she was in stuff, but I feel like she wasn't as established as an actress as much as she is now, especially, through like Euphoria and stuff like that. Again, another elevated performance, and another performance that we didn't get to see a ton of just because it was a lot of I feel like the sort of ending of Dune Part 1 was sort of set up for this film. Javier Bardem was so fucking good in this movie.
I know, he really was.
He was so good. Oh man, I want to get more into spoilers. I want to get more into his character into spoilers, but man, I was not expecting Javier. Obviously, Javier Bardem is a phenomenal actor, but just with his character, I wasn't expecting just what we got, basically. Yeah, so ultimately everything about Dune Part 2 is everything a sequel should be. It's bigger, it's better, to speak to the pacing, I was not expecting it to be as fast paced as it was compared to the first one, because the first one was very slow moving, and this one does still take its time. I mean, it's 2 hours and 45 minutes or however long it is. It's so like it still takes its time, but man, it moves with a quickness. There's a certain section of the film that moves at like breakneck speed. Like and I was like, whoa, wait, what's the timeline here? But yeah, it was just a phenomenal film. It truly was not. Just a massively pleasant surprise for me, for someone who wasn't really sold on this universe.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's all I have to say really for non-spoilers. What would you rate it?
I'll give it like it's really high. I'd say like at least like a 9.5.
9.5. I'd have to give it a 9. Whether that goes up or not for on a rewatch, I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it. I also feel like I gotta rewatch Dune 1 now. I'm really curious if Dune 1 is gonna improve in my eyes just because of how good Dune Part 1 or Part 2 is, because yeah, it's one of those things like this movie can't be as good as it is, and they can't tell this story without Dune Part 1. It's integral. So I got to rewatch Dune Part 1 just to see. But yeah, phenomenal film. Let's get into spoilers. So this is everyone's spoiler warning. Fuck, man. Bro really is the Lisan Al-Gaib, bro. Like, as written, bro. Javier Bardem. I was not expecting so much comedy from that character, especially in that first quarter of the movie, man. Like easily one of my favorite parts of the movie is when Paul is just like, yeah, I'm not like, she just like, she knows how to like hold or like counteract poison or whatever. She was like trained and whatever. And he was like, yeah, I really don't think I'm like this messiah, you know, you're fucking Lisan Al-Gaib. I'm not that guy, pal. I am not that guy. He turns to his boys. He's like, he's the Lisan Al-Gaib. He's so humble that he's not saying his Lisan Al-Gaib as written. And everyone's like, oh shit. It's so good, bro. He was so fucking funny in this.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, this was like, it was really fucking funny. Like to hear that, and like just all throughout the film, like he does something as written, and then like everyone's like you know, like they're all like bowing down, and like Zendaya's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. I did love that sort of facet of this movie, that they're all Fremen, but because whether they're from the north or the south, it's very different as far as their religious beliefs. And what was it? The Southerners are very into the spiritual. They're very they believe in this prophecy, and the Northerners are like, yeah, this is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and yeah. So, but yeah, you know, there's a lot of things that I loved about this film. You know, one being, just overall, like I love how like more of the presence the Harkonnen have in this film, and like, you know, obviously, you know, there's like a, you know, it's funny how weird they look, you know, the little bald-headed black teeth having people
sperm men.
Yeah, but no, like you really get to see, like, you know, I know, like, you know, they are very like brutal, but it's also nice seeing that through like what was his name? I just call him Dr. Selvig because I just call him Dr.
Selvig. Skarsgård.
Yes,
what's he called? The Baron?
Yeah, yes.
I don't know.
Baron,
I don't remember his actual name.
Yes. He is the Baron. I love, like, you know, even though he was very like, he was in it for like very little, I loved seeing him in this movie, as well as Austin Butler's character, the Nah Baron, aka the Governor. Yeah, I love just seeing like how like vicious they can be, and like how like twisted they are, because, you know, I think it's said in the film, but like they're basically just like, yeah, they're just fucking evil, dude. Like, pretty much.
Just full on.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, there is a part of the story where Paul is like, you know, like, yeah, I want to go after the Emperor because like he's fucking with our shit. He fucking killed my family, and I'm not dealing with that shit. And so, like I said, like with the stakes, like it's really tense throughout this whole movie, and I think that's just what makes the film like so much better. Not to say that they weren't high in the first film, but because, like, you know, you start to see that, like, you know, Paul's his visions and his path like coming to like fruition in this film, it just makes it so much more satisfying to see. And like everything else, like when it comes to like his story with like the Fremen, that was I like that as well. And I love how like in the beginning when they're dropping off like Jamis's body in like in the temple, they're like, oh my god, like you killed him or whatever. He still wishes him like the best of luck in his visions, and so he can continue on with this path. I'm going all over the place. There's so much to talk about, and I love about this film.
Imagine being Greg Fraser.
Yeah, imagine being that fucking goated.
Imagine being one of the greatest cinematographers alive and just having bangers back to back to back to back. Like, crazy, bro. He's a god. Like, how old is he?
He is 48 years old.
A living legend.
Seriously.
Yeah, but there's that section of the film that was like moving at breakneck speed where it's like, I don't remember exactly when it started, but it's like, it was like Zendaya was like, oh, you got to like prove yourself to like be Fremen. And then he was like, okay. And then it like hard cuts. And then he's like one of them. And then he's like, okay, but to be a real Fremen, you got to ride the worm. And then he just like cuts to riding the worm. And then it's like another like 6 months pass within like just a cut. And then like they're like Zendaya or Johnny. I thought for the entire movie, I thought they were saying Johnny. Yeah, and I was very confused. And then I saw the cast list afterward. I was like, oh, Johnny. See, that makes more sense. But Johnny and Paul were they were like, ooh, like sort of like flirty with each other, and then all of a sudden they're like together, and it's like it wasn't bad. I was just like, whoa, this is moving way faster than I anticipated considering the first film. So that caught me off guard. It was a welcome change of pace. But yeah, the scene where Paul rides the grandfather worm was really good.
It was really good. I love seeing like because of course Chani had to guide him through that, and I love how he was pounding the sand, and Zendaya's like your character's like lower, and he goes lower, and he's hitting the sand, and they're using the thumper, and of course he gets on the grandfather worm, and then he's writing it in Stilgar as written. And
as written.
And it cuts like the mural, and like he's like telling everyone, yeah, he fucking wrote the grandfather worm, like, and like, they're all celebrating and shit. This shit's fucking awesome.
And then and then it like the sort of like montage, for lack of a better word, like sort of keeps going, and then like his mom, Rebecca Ferguson, she's like, okay, well, we skipped the bit where she like becomes like I don't even fucking know.
She becomes the Reverend Mother.
Yeah, and she's pregnant, and it's fucking Anya Taylor-Joy, and Anya Taylor-Joy speaking to her in the womb and shit. And
yeah, fucking Anya Taylor-Joy with the MCU level cameo.
Yeah, but she's like, yeah, we got to make him believe or whatever. And then like within no time, like all of them are like, oh yeah, we're into this Paul Atreides guy. He's the least of all Gabe. Like all the non-believers except Zendaya, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I just like love how like it's funny because like I just like love how like it starts like feeding you through dialogue of like how like the fucking the Bene Gesserit were like planting this shit all over the Fremen, and so that's why you have like the fucking like the Southern people be like, yeah, like we need this shit to happen, like he's a fucking Lisan al-Gaib and shit. And so like with that when she drinks like the blue raspberry Kool-Aid and like sees everything. The worm piss. Was it piss or like was it like?
Well, that's what like Zendaya's friend called it. He was like, what,
oh yeah, right.
What are they about to do? She's like, she's about to drink worm piss, and Zendaya's like, bruh, like she's about to die. What is wrong with you?
I like love like the line of like, you know, with all the women, they're like, oh my god, like she's pregnant, and then it's like, what have we done?
Yeah.
Let's see.
They like all like live within her and can like speak through her and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works. This is one of those universes like you just got to accept shit that's going on.
Yeah, this was like just 60s sci-fi shit, like 60s 70s sci-fi shit, like just go through it.
Florence Pugh's in this.
Yes, she is. Yeah, I know. Like, it was crazy how like she's wearing like some like fucking chainmail dress, like she's finna fight some like Jonah the Ark-esque shit. But yeah, you know, even though her role is like very small, I still loved her presence in the film. I'm literally like trying to remember every single thing about this film because like there's so much to unpack here that like holy hell.
Something I didn't love that I was alluding to earlier. There's a couple things that I didn't love about this movie, and they're pretty much my only like two complaints. And I'm not sure exactly what it is, at least for this first one, but maybe it's because of like in real life stuff. But I don't buy Paul and Chani together. I don't buy Timothée Chalamet and like Zendaya's like chemistry.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's just like, you know, I mean, I guess it's also just like a in real life thing, you know, because like she's with Tom Holland.
Not even that. It's like in the like during the press stuff, she's just like she's just so like not into it. Like not into anything that's going on. Not even like a disrespectful way. It's just like I don't know.
Hey man, she's there to get a check, you know. One thing I am willing to see is like how they're going to do. I want to know how they're going to play with like man. I want to say something. You know about the books a little bit, right?
I mean, I know. I don't know what you're alluding to. So.
well, no, because like, you know, they have a kid, and so. They're because like they of course some things were changed. Well, I mean that's the Leto 2. So the thing is like
Jared Leto.
So like there was like one thing that was cut out from like the movie. I mean it still works, but I mean I believe in the book Paul and Chani have a kid, which is of course Leto 1, who dies. Dies, and then that's what kind of like triggers or something that triggers like the Holy War type of thing. So I want to know if like, you know, in part 3, you know, Dune Messiah, if like that one's gonna be like you know, or it has to be like Leto 1, and they're gonna probably do, if they even go to that route of like Warm Boy. I just want to see how that is. But in terms of like chemistry, I mean, I'm just kind of going along with the movie. I'm not really here for like because I know like you know, I know what in terms of like their chemistry and relationship, Zendaya is obviously still with, you know, or Zendaya's character is still obviously with Timothée Chalamet. So that's something that didn't really bother me. But I understand what you're saying though.
Yeah, something else I didn't love about this movie was Christopher Walken.
Yeah, bro was just there.
He's just there, and he's Christopher Walken.
Bro barely speaks.
You said you'd get control of the spice. What are you doing?
I mean, it's just Christopher Walken,
it's just
bro.
Christopher Walken. That's my issue. Like, I don't know. I'm like, does he fit in this universe? I'm like,
hey man, he's just wearing a blue robe. He has to be an emperor.
He sort of gave me Snoke vibes weirdly because of that robe.
Yeah, and how he's like kind of like hunched over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand. Also, I gotta say in this movie, the fucking, or it was, I mean, both of these movies, the set design is fucking awesome. Like, it also kind of reminds me of like, of course, you know, you have like, you know, some influences of like, you know, the Gladiator stuff, and you know, I love how like some of the, I like how the Emperor's ship is like one gigantic fucking sphere but like in the inside, it kind of reminds me of like kind of like an Egyptian pyramid type of thing. It's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
But I also like I also like love like going back to how Chinese character, how like she's not really like a believer of the Lisan al Gaib and stuff like that.
Lisan al Gaib.
I love like just like the dynamic of like yeah, like I mean it's they say you are, but are you really? And then like Paul's like, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, Paul's like yeah, I don't. My mom made this shit up, and I'm not. I don't want to go through with it because it seems manipulative. it's just a bunch of bullshit. And
yeah.
Well, I can't speak to the book, so maybe there's like a hindsight is 2020 thing, but I don't know if like I assume he is being genuine when he says that, and it's only when he drinks the worm piss that he's like, I am the Lisan al Gaib.
Yeah, I just like love how like with him being like the Bene Gesserit, he's already like getting like these visions and stuff like that, and of course when he drinks the blue Kool-Aid, it's all enhanced, and obviously like that's supposed to like it is definitely, of course it's definitely like a future thing, but I love how like the Reverend Mother was like, yeah, this guy's gonna come here in about a couple of days, just give him what he wants. And so like, whenever Timothée Chalamet does drink it, I just love like seeing like all his visions and like the Holy War happening and stuff like that. I don't know, I think that shit's just really, really fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, of course when he drinks, he's like, yeah, I am this shit, and then Zayna is like, oh hell no, I gotta get out of here. Like,
yeah, they have that heart to heart, and he's like, because he sees that he is probably gonna have to do all this because just to get through what they're going through, and he tells Chani that he's like, I'm scared to lose you, and she's like, you'll never lose me as long as you stay who you are, and he's like, I'm gonna be someone else.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, that goes like what we were talking about, like Timothée Chalamet. I mean, he really had to elevate his performance and be a presence in this movie for any of this to work. And when they're fucking praying and he walks up and bro's just like, hey bro, hey, you can't be here, bro, unless you like slay Stilgar or whatever. And Stilgar, being a little simp he is, he's like, just kill me, man. Just kill me, take your place, bro.
Yeah, and like Paul's like, I'm not gonna fucking kill you. Like, nah, we're not doing that.
He's like, that's some stupid ass shit. Stop it.
But some of my favorite shots in the film, like leading up to him, like talking to like the entire, the entire village. I love like the aerial shot of him walking through the crowd, and of course everyone's like moving out the way. But then like I just love like how like you see everyone just kneeling above, like of course like kneeling below him, and then like the spotlight's on him and he's speaking, and like he's like going through like the different languages. Oh dude, it is so fucking dope.
Yeah, God, but I wish I like had the speech, but he's like, your mother's like told stories of me and shit like that. I'm like, this goes hard as fuck.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and like fucking like he basically he's like going to like every white. He goes to a few people in the crowd, and he's like, yeah, like your grandma died 9 moons ago, and then he's like, Niels, did he say
as written?
And then like I just like love how like also like when the emperor like the emperor is like showing up or whatever, because they bait him. Also fucking Gurney comes back. I love Josh Brolin's character Gurney.
Oh yeah,
he came back. He wasn't dead. I knew he wasn't dead, but like of course he tells him that like you have, your family has nuclear fucking like weapons, bro. Like,
yeah, it's just full on.
Yeah, your fucking your grandfather has nuclear weapons, and like I love how like when they go to like the vault. And he's like, oh yeah, this is access through DNA. Fucking Paul puts his hand in there, and then like it opens, but like a few people, they're like looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how the fuck?
And he's like, yeah, this is your family's 26 nukes, like just ready to go.
Yeah, and then like so like basically they use some of that to like debate the emperor, because obviously like of course they're getting word of like the spice production being stopped, like the emperor and the Harkonnen. They're like, yeah, like what the fuck is up with our spice production? Like this shit's getting like out of hand. Like
yeah. Speaking of, obviously it's because of the Fremen just fucking their shit. Fucking Dave Bautista just getting his shit rocked constantly this movie.
Oh yeah, dude. He just,
that poor man.
Yeah, I was about to say like he gets like severely fucking like shit on.
Yeah.
Because like he of course I think he becomes like, of course he like levels or kind of like goes up like he gets promoted pretty much. He gets promoted and he's trying to like run things around and like things aren't going well and like he's like having like a fucking like mental breakdown and shit. And then but yeah, pretty much like they're stopping like all the spice production and like they're like what the fuck is happening, and then of course they get word of Paul, but like he goes by like a different name. So like, who the fuck is this guy?
The desert rat or whatever.
Yeah, Usul. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, why? Like you're like, oh, like he's just some fucking dude. Like, so yeah, that becomes like this whole thing. But yeah, like you just start to. I just like love seeing like just that third act is like just absolutely fucking amazing. And it's also one thing, after, like I said, I'm going all over the place. There's so much to fucking talk about, but I love the fact on how like, basically Paul tells like his mom, like, yeah, I know what the fuck you are. Like, I know what fucking happened. This is fucking crazy. Cause like, Florence Pugh's character is his half sister. Cause, Rebecca Ferguson's character had she's a child with the Baron, and he's like, yeah, I'm finna fucking exact revenge on the Emperor. This shit's finna go down pretty much. This shit's fucking crazy.
Elvis is in this.
Yeah, poor Austin Butler, man, he can never speak.
Yeah, it's crazy how he went to that arena and he looked up to Stellan Skarsgård and he was like, I can't believe this guy he's not drugged. That's crazy. He goes up to the bear and he's like, you tried to kill me.
I need a peanut butter banana sandwich. Baron.
May that knife chip and shatter.
Where's Priscilla? Lord Baron, where's Priscilla?
Dave Bautista, kiss my feet.
But
he is doing like it's like he's trying to do, or not trying. I mean he does. He's doing like sort of a Stellan Skarsgård thing.
Yeah, like really, how he speaks and shit.
Yeah.
Apparently he was saying he was inspired by Heath Ledger's Joker and someone else. I think it was he said he was inspired by Heath Ledger's Joker, and I want to say
Jared Leto's Joker,
Jack Nicholson or something. I have no idea, but I was kind of off. I was kind of like, his voice at first was very jarring, but I was like, you know what, it would make sense if he has like
I got used
black
to it pretty
teeth.
Quick.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of those weirdos, the fucking black sun making everything black and white, really cool.
Yeah, that was so fucking cool. I was like, man, like this is so fucking awesome. But yeah, fucking Austin Butler fucking dies. He gets fucking wrecked.
Wow.
Sorry. I know you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, he does get. That was a well crafted scene.
Yeah,
I love how there was no score either.
Yeah, no, the fights in this in this movie, it was really really good. Kind of also kind of like a callback to the first movie with him like training with Gurney.
Yeah.
And like I said, like fucking. I also love the callback because before that, Austin Butler's character, he was fighting with like some members of like, he fought like with a member of the Atreides family, and then he also fought like two other people who were like drugged or whatever, and then like he fucking kills like the Atreides guy, and he says like, you fought well Atreides, and then vice versa. That's when Paul kills him. And then the fucking one thing everyone's talking about is like the Bene Gesserit Reverend Mother was like, yeah, you should be doing this, and then Timothy Chalamet was like, silence. And I'm like, oh yes, use the voice. The voice.
There's a bit where he tells Johnny is like no matter what happens, I'll always love you. He's like, hey, yeah, I'll take your daughter's hand in marriage, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Johnny's like, what? Wait, what? You just.
He's like, yeah, like you, yeah, he's like, yeah, like, give me, bro, give me your left hand, and yeah, your daughter's gonna be my bride. And you wonder what also makes it even more fucked up is that in the vision, fucking, he's with Chani, so she forgives him.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Oh, well, actually, speaking of which, something that I do know about the book that they changed is that Chani is in the book. She's on board with the whole Lisa Nagaib thing, and they changed it in this where she's not on board. She's like, this is fucked.
I mean, I actually like that change. To be honest,
I do as well. It just makes sense.
It makes sense, and it adds more to the conflict.
Yeah,
of everything. Yeah, because there has to be like an outlier. Like, not everyone could just believe in that shit. But yeah, man, this is all fucking crazy. I know. I'm trying to remember what else is happening. Oh yeah, of course, the fucking the Bene Gesserit was like, yeah, we had to fucking kill the Atreides family because they're getting out of control. And basically, she was saying how like, yeah, like even though we're like two bloodlines, like their bloodline was like getting like way too fucking dominant and shit. I mean, it makes fucking sense because like the Harkonnen were just fucking killing everyone, fucking savages.
Crazy. So, after he killed Austin Butler, what's the character's name? Fade? Faux Fum? Fayed? Frayed?
Frayed, yes.
Freed?
Frayed.
Anyway, when he killed him and he walks up, he's like limping and shit because he's still like fucking shanked.
Yeah.
Walks up to the Emperor and he's like, now quiet up and listen down.
Dude. Yeah, his name is Fade Rautha.
Fade. Scratch that. Reverse it.
Reverse. Come with me.
And you'll see in a world with the Lisa Nagaib.
Bro, Jesus. And it's as written. But man, I can't. Oh man, it sucks that we're gonna have to wait fucking 5 years for Dune Messiah.
Is there anything you didn't like?
I don't know. There's not really. I guess the one thing I didn't like was I ran out of Diet Coke whenever I was watching the movie.
What's up with you and Diet Coke?
I love it.
Why?
I don't know. Well, then again, it was free. It was free at the Josh House.
Free?
Yeah, I had a free coupon for a free drink.
Oh, you had a coupon.
Yeah.
So you got a Diet Coke?
Shit. I mean, it was either a Diet Coke or a sweet tea.
Bro, Dr. Pepper's right there.
What
do you mean,
That's all. I haven't gotten Dr. Pepper recently.
Wow.
Because not a lot of places have it.
Well, they don't have
they don't have the Dr. Pepper Zero. I like Dr. Pepper Zero.
It's the same thing.
I don't know. But when disliking the movie, I don't know. I don't have anything I dislike. I guess this is like the fucking like most minuscule nitpick. I wish I saw Batista more. Or
sure,
at least I saw him like more like fighting, because there was like him like I think it was Arakeen. Yeah, it was Arakeen. I just remember him like running away, and then he's about to get fucking stabbed.
Like he was like, we're gonna fucking decimate these guys, we're gonna end them, and they just all like just get fucking assassinated. He's like, yeah, fuck this, like retreat.
Yeah, fuck this, and then like the one of the fucking Fremen warriors, he's about to stab him, and he's like, for the Lisa Nagaib, and then she gets fucking shot, and her body starts flying. Yeah, he was severely nerfed in this movie. Yeah, he was not as intimidating.
Not at all. I feel bad for Dave Bautista, to be honest.
I feel bad because like he can have such a more bigger presence in these films. It kind of reminds me of like him like in his role in like Blade Runner 2042.
Yeah, 2049,
sorry, because there's also like the short film about him.
Yeah,
and then like you see him in the beginning of the film and he just gets his shit
rocked by Ken.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel bad. I guess it's just him and Denis Villeneuve. He just doesn't like him.
Yeah. I did want to so Paul.
Mm-hmm.
He's Anakin Skywalker.
Pretty much without the lightsabers.
He's at least not the chosen one.
The voice from the outer world.
Long hair, white. He's being groomed for his role by outside forces.
I just love how it takes us on a desert planet with a gigantic thing with a mouth that's spiky.
Only the biggest difference is Paul doesn't seem to mind sand.
Yeah, because to him it's not coarse and doesn't get everywhere.
I mean, it does get everywhere, but because it is everywhere, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, so the Star Wars connection, people are being so fucking annoying on both sides, because you got Dune motherfuckers that are just like, Star Wars, Dune came first actually, and actually you'll find that the Star Wars actually took from Dune, and actually Star Wars took from a lot of stuff. They took from Dune, they took from fucking old samurai films, Flash Gordon. It wasn't there's obviously Dune connections, but there's a bunch of other shit too.
Yeah.
So it makes it so cool. Also, Dune doesn't have fucking lightsabers. And automatically, Star Wars is better for it. I don't know. But then you have Star Wars people that are seeing all this shit. Obviously, I just made the comparison to Anakin. And people are like, he's nothing like Anakin. And actually, Anakin's a lot cooler. And he has nothing on Anakin. Shut up. You all sound stupid. Why, why can't we all just like multiple things? Can multiple things coexist? And we just like it? What's wrong with that? I don't understand people's allegiances to franchises and companies and characters and shit like that. What is wrong with you?
Exactly. And it's also a thing to where you have the Star Wars people, they're like, yeah, well, Star Wars is more iconic than Dune. And I'm like, we're not taking away from that, but it's also a thing to where you also have to, of course, no one's all you have to give credit where credit's due sometimes. And it's fine that Star Wars has taken inspiration from Dune, but like you said, it's okay to have two things exist at once. Imagine being a fucking Dune fan and you're like, man, all these fucking adaptations are just not the best, and we're getting great adaptations, and we can't some people just are getting fucking shit on because they like Dune, and so Star Wars is Star Wars nerds are being fucking toxic as always.
Dune fans are being very elitist.
Yeah. It's oh yeah, I fucking read a six book series. I fucking know more about sci-fi than you do, or my sci-fi series is better. Bro, calm down. It ain't that serious. I like Star Wars. I like Dune. I can like both. I can get into both because they're fucking. It's fucking sci-fi. I love sci-fi. Who doesn't fucking love sci-fi?
I don't.
Okay.
Only Star Wars. Star Wars is number one for me. Dune's okay, I guess.
Yeah, I just love I just love a story about the white savior,
Yeah.
I don't believe that Dune's a white savior story.
No. It's pretty clear that he's not good.
No. Fucking Paul Atreides, he's a pretty bad person. And I mean, the books also make it clear. Well, even in this movie, it's making it clear that he's not going to be a good person.
Well, that's why Dune Messiah exists in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Because people are like, yes, Paul Atreides, the good guy.
Paul Atreides, the fucking good one. But yeah, no, Messiah. I mean, I haven't read Messiah yet, but I heard that that one is just apparently he compares himself to Hitler.
Yeah.
So
it's almost it's almost like he's like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Space Hitler.
Pretty much. And yeah, of course, you see that further corruption of It's like, yeah, you know, I am like with the Fremen, and then he drinks the fucking blue Kool-Aid. He's like, Fremen, I mean, I don't know. They could join me. I don't really care about them like that though.
Yeah, they're kind of beneath me. They follow me. I mean, that's cool.
But yeah,
they keep calling me the Lisan Al Gaib, and you know, I am. Stilgar's pretty funny, so I guess I'll keep him around.
He's like, yeah, you know what? Like, yeah, I was like literally born for this shit. You know,
I was literally born to be the Lisan Al Gaib.
Can't believe. I can't wait for the Fortnite edits of Paul Atreides killing Freed, and then Hidden and Gritty with the Victory Royale. I'm Willie, Hidden and Gritty on Fwade.
He's too humble to admit he's the Lisan Al Gaib, just like the Lisan Al Gaib. I can't get over it. It's written.
I have nothing else to say except that this movie is fucking magnificent.
There's still this movie's so packed. Like, there's so much other shit. Like, even like small details. Like, they can't cry because it's wasting water.
Yeah.
They take the dead and they drain the water from their bodies and shit to conserve.
Yeah, conserve the water, and now it's sacred and shit like that.
There's that sick part where they had to take down the fucking like helicopter, and Johnny's like, reload.
The fucking that shit was, but like also like the fucking like love hike. You know, you see like the Emperor's ship, and then like they just start fucking going to war, and they're just fucking tearing through everything, and it fucking Paul walks in, and then like, you know, the Sardaukar, they're just sitting there with they have their fucking swords, but then of course they're not doing anything. And they're like, yeah, y'all come with me. Take everyone as prisoner. It's fucking nuts.
May thy knife chip and shatter. He's like, that's fucking weird. May thy knife chip and shatter, I guess.
May thy knife chip and shatter. Prisoner.
May thy knife chip and shatter. Fucking weird ass. Bro cannot. He can't not do a weird voice.
I feel so bad, indeed. I just see every time on TikTok of like, you know, they're doing like promotional material for like Dune, and like Austin Butler speaks, and then they just the Stitch is like, oh yeah, watch Dune Part 2.
It's like he's like, watch Dune Part 2, and then it's like cut, watch Dune Part 2.
Dude cannot speak,
and then there's the fucking TikToks where it's like him with his vocal coach, and he's like, all right, see you later. And they're like, Austin. He's like, oh. He
starts doing fucking Elvis shit. He starts dancing.
Boom, pow, ha. Like, Viva Las Vegas.
I am Fried Arthur Harkonnen. Welcome to Las Vegas.
I just got promoted by the Baron, and here we are. Gonna get control of the spice.
Can't believe that Austin Butler killed Skarsgård on the lips.
Oh yeah, and that's improvised.
That's improvised?
Oh, you didn't see that? Yeah, apparently that was improvised.
Fucking Stellan Skarsgård's like, what the fuck?
And then he went in for another one. He's like, are we gonna cut or?
The fucking Baron explodes after that. But yeah, I have nothing else to say about this film.
I'm sure there is more to say, but yeah, I can't think of anything.
I can't think of anything either. There's, like I said, I said that like for like the 9th time this podcast, there's so much to talk about, and like
so much shit.
And I know that whenever we cut this, there's gonna be, I'm like, I remember something.
Yeah, we're about, fuck, we didn't talk about this thing.
Yeah.
You think this is gonna be the next Lord of the Rings, next original trilogy?
I don't. Ooh, Lord of the Rings is kind of high. I definitely do think that when Messiah comes out, and if it exceeds part 2, this will definitely be like Gen Alpha's fucking original trilogy.
Gen Alpha?
Yeah, we are in Gen Alpha. We're not Gen Z anymore.
What?
Gen Z ended in 2012, bro.
No, I know, but like, I feel like Gen Alpha is still too young. No, I mean, I guess by the time Messiah comes out.
Dude, like when Messiah comes out, bro, we're gonna be in our 30s, dude. Trust.
I don't like. Shut up. Stop.
But I will say it will be a phenomenal trilogy to put one up, put it in the books for sure.
I think Messiah is going to be the best one. I'm calling it.
I think so too. But like honestly,
just what I've heard about Messiah as a story, I'm
not even gonna front with you. Like I want Messiah to be 3 hours. Like
whoa, that's the short. It's the shortest. It's a short book though.
Nah, I want to have the extended cut, bro. Actually, no, you know what? I want them to do.
I hope it's an hour and 30 minutes. I hope it's an hour and 30 minutes and they rush everything.
Oh no, dude!
Because David Zaslav sold off Warner Brothers to Sony.
Don't say that shit, man. I don't want to hear about it. Wait, no, I'll look it up later. I didn't know Messiah was that short.
I think it's like 200 or 300 pages.
It has 256 pages.
Oh, right in the middle.
And then Dune, the original Dune book. Holy fuck!
Yeah, bro.
896 pages. Jesus,
it's a big book.
Well, I mean, if I could read it, I can definitely read Dune.
You read it?
Yeah, I've read it before.
You have?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it.
Really? Including that part?
Don't bring that shit up. We don't talk about that shit. we have it in my house somewhere.
I have 2 copies.
No fucking way.
I do. I haven't read them.
I think I see.
Well, they're not mine. They're my dad's. But
yeah, no, like it's actually like it's much more graphic than I like remember. The beginning is like way graphic, but yeah. But yeah, I've read it. So I was thinking about picking up Dune, like the hardcover of it. Like I'm thinking about doing that and picking up Messiah.
You're never gonna read that shit.
Well, who knows? I have been reading Invincible.
That's a full-on graphic novel. That's not.
Oh, you talking about like reading?
Yeah.
I could fucking do it if I want to.
You're not reading that shit. I can see you reading Messiah. You're definitely not reading Dune.
Oh, you want to bet?
Bro, you haven't even gone through Parks and Rec.
I'm watching it right now.
You're watching it right now? As we speak?
Like I'm still watching it.
I know. You're not even on season 3 yet, bro. You're in the middle of season 2. I can see your progress.
Dude, because fucking season 2, dude, I don't know what's going on with season 2. Bro, it's not.
I sat through 3 seasons of a boring ass animated show, and you can't get through a season of a peak sitcom.
Are you calling Avatar: The Last Airbender?
The movie was better.
That's a fucking show, everyone. All right, thank you guys for listening to this podcast. All right,
just get through it, bro.
Bro,
it is not that hard.
Bro, when does Adam Scott show up?
It's towards the end of season 2. You're almost there.
All right, thank you. All right.
Well, now you got me curious. Now I got to see which episode.
I'm on like season 2, episode 14 or something.
You're on season 2, episode like 17. What did you watch this week?
What did I watch this week?
What did you watch this week?
I watched. Okay, I go to my handy dandy letterbox. I watched School of Rock. Kind of rewatched type of thing. Fucking awesome. That's all I gotta say. Jack Black, he was doing his thing in the movie. I watched Marcel, the show with shoes on.
Yeah,
pretty fucking good. I didn't know it was like I didn't know it was like a prequel and a sequel. But it was really good. I love that documentary style animation type of thing. It was really, really cool. Then I watched Spaceman with Adam Sandler and Paul Dano, and Carey Mulligan.
And it was mid.
I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's pretty much like if Interstellar was a therapy movie. It's just like an hour and 30-minute therapy session with like Adam Sandler with Paul Dano as a big spider. God. If you did not have that phobia of spiders, you would actually like it because it's just purely dialogue.
You're 6 episodes away from Adam Scott.
Thank you for telling me that. And then obviously Dune part 1 and part 2, and that's all I watched. Oh, and I finished the Gentleman series on Netflix, which is the spin-off of the Gentleman movie. Yes, with Divergent Boy.
No, the other one.
Oh, yes, Maze Runner woman.
Oh. Isn't that the one with Henry Cavill?
He does look a lot like Henry Cavill. Yes, that's Divergent Boy. Yes.
There's something coming out with Henry Cavill. That's whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm not watching that shit.
No. The gentleman is not. No. The guy does look like Henry Cavill.
No, it's not. Apparently, this is not the show I'm thinking about.
Damn, you're cooked. But yeah, the gentleman was pretty. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I think how it ended is that they could do a season 2 if they wanted to, but we'll see. Also, Giancarlo Esposito is really good in this, and yeah, that's all I pretty much got to say.
What did I watch? Do you know what I watched? Oh, you're 2 episodes away from Adam Sandler, Andy Samberg.
Nice.
I watched Horrible Bosses, which is a movie about horrible bosses. One of the horrible bosses being Kevin Spacey.
Oh.
It has Charlie Day. It has Jason Sudeikis and Jason Bateman. They're the stars of the film. Colin Farrell's in it, being fucking weird like Colin Farrell. Bro loves just playing just people that aren't him. He's always in some kind of makeup. I swear to God, he's never himself. But Colin Farrell's in it. Kevin Spacey's in it. Jennifer Aniston is in it. And another actor. Doesn't matter because it was okay. This is one of those movies. Actually, what year did this come out? Let me check real quick. What year did The Horrible Bosses come out? I want to say like 2010, 2011. Yeah, this is very late 2000s, early 2010s. It certainly has that vibe. It was fine. It was pretty like there was a couple good moments in it, a couple funny moments in it. Oh, Jamie Foxx is in it. That's what I was thinking of. And yeah, it had good moments, but ultimately it felt pretty by the numbers. It was just kind of okay. And then I watched Wonka finally with the Lisa Nalgaib, and it was pretty solid, man, to be honest. I thought the movie started a little rough, a little rocky. But once it got going, it really got going, and it was pretty good. It's the same director as the Paddington films, and if anyone's seen those movies, it most certainly has that vibe. And one could even argue that maybe it's a little too similar. But yeah, it was really good. The songs, again, in the beginning, I was like, I don't know about this, but again, it got better as it went along. And yeah, Timothée Chalamet wasn't as fucking like cringe as they made it out in the trailer. Maybe it helps that he is the Lisa Nalgaib. But Keegan-Michael Key is in it. He was really funny in it. Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa was great. Olivia Colman was in a surprising amount of it and was really great in it. It was just a solid movie, man, to be honest. And a lot of people were, I don't know. It seems like a mixed bag. It's either you thought it was not great, or you actually thought it was pretty good, or you're like our friend Joel and says it's it might be his favorite movie of all time, which I think is insane, but whatever, I guess. But yeah, I thought it was solid. I think I'd give Horrible Bosses like a 6.5 to a 7, and I think I'd give Wonka like a 7.5 to a solid 8. But yeah,
yeah, I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, after you watch Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Anyway, is that the show?
That is the show.
All right, thank you everyone for listening to the Avengers podcast. If you want to follow us, we're at Avengenerds on Twitter. That's AVENGE Nerds. All one word. If you want to follow either one of us, you can reach me at @itzenith_ on Twitter. Where can they reach you?
Nowhere.
We also have a Discord if you'd like to join the conversation there. This will be linked in the show notes. You can also check out our link tree for any additional links you may be interested in. You can also review the show in-app on Apple Podcasts. If you leave 5 stars in a review, it would really help us out. Thanks again for listening to the Adventures Podcast. We'll see you next week.
Later.
I'm just saying that we made a deal that I would watch Avatar and you would watch Parks and Rec, and I finished Avatar. And
yes, you have. Yes,
I'm just saying. I held up my part of the deal, and
Yes, you're right. You finished 3 seasons of an incredible show. I'm still on one season
of an incredible show.
Well, it's getting there.
Oh my god.